Alright, good morning, diggers and diggers. Hopefully you're all having a good, fun-filled, fantastic morning. I am. I got my coffee here. Why did you guys turn in? Simple. It's cooking with Tripwire. Yay. We gotta have coffee before we do anything, but today we are doing breakfast. That's why I'm like trying to be real quiet. What breakfast are we making? Only the greatest breakfast in the history of mankind. Funnel cakes. How can you go wrong with having funnel cakes as breakfast? If this does not brighten your day, absolutely nothing will. So we're going to take an opportunity. We're going to go over everything that we're going to need. We're actually going to read the directions this time. And I'm going to show you all how to make some funnel cakes. See you in a bit. Well, they got the funnel cake batter into the plastic, but how are we supposed to get it out? Oh, I'm hungry. I want to eat now. Alright, so here's basically what we're going to be using today. We got ourselves a little deep fryer here, a little baby deep fryers. That's a definite must. You got to have oil because you need the oil in order to make the stuff, or otherwise it ain't going to happen. We are using funnels, and here is the reason why we are using funnels. Even though they bring you this cute little pouring thing, the problem is that number one, you got to transfer it after you mix it into that. And number two, the reason why we're using the funnels is that we get more batter this way. When you're transferring batter from like point A to point B, you're going to lose batter. So if we just keep it all in one container, like this one's what we're going to be using, we're going to mix everything in here. We just keep everything in here. We won't lose any of the batter, so we get that. Speaking of batter, well, ourselves a funnel cake mix finally out of the container, which is a pain in the butt. Got ourselves a little measuring cup because we're going to have 1 1/3 cups of water. Definitely going to need a stir or something to stir it out with. And to top it off, boom, this is our powdered sugar station. Gotta have powdered sugar on your funnel cake. So we're going to jump into this right now. We're going to get it mixed first, and then we are going to get the deep fryer up and running. Alrighty, here we go. We need 1 1/3 cup of water. Now, there's really no right or wrong way to do this, but I always prefer to add the water or the liquid first, and then you add the flour or the sugar or the cake mix into the water. That's just the way I do it. Another little trick, if you guys are interested, when you're measuring out your water, sometimes you can be a little over, a little under. Best thing to do is when you measure it, set it down on the flat surface first so you can get an accurate reading on exactly where you're at. Because if cooking is an art form, then baking is a science, and this falls under science. Here we go. Boom. There's the other cup. Now we are going to add the funnel mix. It's not easy for me to be quiet. I'll tell you guys that right now. I'm not really a quiet person, so. But we're going to do our best, even though the house is starting to wake up. So we got to get a move on here. Dump it all up in there. Boom. I don't think I need to show you guys how to mix anything, so I'll be doing that off camera. I'm pretty sure y'all got a good handle on that. But what we did not have a handle on is a whisk. I forgot to grab the whisk. So we're going to do that right now. Let's mix this up and see what we got. Alright, fine. I'll show you guys how to whisk this stuff up. It's interesting because this is actually really, really thick, and I did follow the instructions. It said 1 1/3 cups. The consistency is still a tad thicker than what I'm used to, but I'm not going to thin it out just yet. We're going to wait on that. We're going to see how this looks after it all gets incorporated. Okay, now that we got the batter mix, we're going to move over to the deep fry station. We need to add our oil up in here. I never know how much oil to put in, so what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it. There's a little line that's on this deep fryer for a reason. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it up to that line. Blah, 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 blah. I kept the basket out. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe we should put it in. Actually, you can never have too much oil in your breakfast. That's all I have to say. Lunch and dinner, too. We're going to plug this baby in, and it should be set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or Celsius. It's Fahrenheit. 350, whatever. Okay, for those of you that do not do a lot of cooking, you got to figure out exactly when the temperature is absolutely correct. And the way you do that is you just stick your finger right into the... No, you don't do that. Don't do that. No. A lot of times the little bubbles will form on top, and you can tell because the oil will start moving around. Plus, if you guys got a deep fryer, you got a temperature gauge. The light should go off when it is at the temperature that you need it to be at. So don't stick your finger in the grease. All right, it is show time. We are going to start doing. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay, we're on. Just had to double check that because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I do not have a lot of room here to work. I hope that this you guys can see all this. But we got this little spout on this little bowl here. So what we're going to do, hopefully you guys can see this, we're going to make the funnels. So it's going to pour out right there. And it's going to go through here. And then it's still a little thick. It's a little bit too thick for me. But that's what they said. So we're going to do our best with it. Right now I'm just making little droppings. And just like you pour it into the funnel. I know that was probably in the way. I apologize. It's going to go slow. And you can probably make we're trying the first one out. We'll look at the first one. Right now we're just making little droppings is what we're doing. It's not really going through as well as I was hoping. But what we can do, if you see, I don't want to mess with it because that's exactly what it is. But what we're going to do is I'm going to just put them all together by using the batter itself, kind of like hold it to make the cake. Make little crosses over it. Try to piece it all together to make it look like a funnel cake. It's a way to do it. The little pieces that fall off, no big deal. No big deal because they're kind of crunchy. They're extra. So I want to see exactly how long this takes to cook. Probably just a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes. So we got our first cake in the oil. Now we're getting somewhere. It's almost breakfast. Almost breakfast. Let's see. Drop that off. I'm going to put this over here in the area. Try to keep everything as clean as possible. I'm just going to let this soak for a little bit. I'm going to have to get it nice and crispy, and I'm going to try to flip that over somehow. Made it a tad bit too big for the flipping, but hey, where there's a will, there's a way. When there's a way, there's a spatula. Okay, I believe that we are at the flipping stage of the game. I'm going to take this little guy and just go, alakablamo. Now, I just made a major mistake. Can anyone tell me what mistake I made? I was flipping, I'll tell you, I was flipping it towards me. When you're dealing with hot oil, don't flip it towards you. You always want to flip it away from you so you don't get splattered with the oil. So I made a little faux pas there. It's interesting though. We're all right. We're okay over here. Everything's going fine. Man, I'm starting to sound like Bob Ross. I gotta quit doing this stuff. All right, and again, it's only like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes on each side. Good way to test it is shove it down into the oil towards the bottom. And if it feels stiff to you, if it feels like it's cooked, you know, you might want to give it an extra 10, 15 seconds or so to make sure that the inside is cooked, because you can't really tell. But I believe that our first morning funnel cake is done. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it and put it over here. Boom. There we go. Not incredibly perfect, but then again, neither am I. We got these little chunks here. We're going to take those out also. The more you get out, the better with each batch, because it'll burn the oil. You want to try to keep your oil as pure as possible. There's another way to test. We got, like I said, we got these little crumbs here. Hot, hot, hot. Let's cut one of these little boys open here. Yeah, it looks like it's done to me. Where are we at? Yep, that little dude looks like he's about done. We have ourselves funnel cake. Almost. Almost. All right, now for the fun part. That's where we get our sugar. Gotta get the sugar up on here big time, like boom. Powder sugar. It's the only white powder I do nowadays, so that's a good sign. Put in a little sifter. Sift, 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 sift. And we're gonna sift. Yeah, let's put some more on there. How can you not lick the powdered sugar? It's snowing. Okay, so we're gonna have to put this down here. We'll put that on top of that. And then we're going to transfer that onto our little plate here. Problem is that I left the other spatula on the other side of the kitchen. Oh, do I stink. Now, alakablamo. We have ourselves funnel cake. Funnel cakes, yes. Can't go wrong with a funnel cake breakfast. Just needs one more thing, and that is coffee. Oops, Forgot to turn it off. Not good. All right, so there you go. There's morning breakfast here over at Straight Up Metal Detecting. Got our coffee, got ourselves some killer funnel cakes, and it's time for me to do some research. I hope you all enjoyed this little show. This is Cooking with Tripwire. Y'all take care. Later.